when we start having issues now that school is out and I'm dropping Sadia off at the grandmother's house where Jasmine resides. So I sent her a message June 16th. I said, I'm going to be signing Didi up for daycare, Little Big Thinkers in Edwardsville next week. Starting off, I will be using daycare one day out of the week. She says, will it be on your full days or exchange day? I said my full day, so I'm trying to decide whether it will be a Tuesday or a Thursday. I'm still not sure yet. Hopefully, I can mix one week, maybe my Tuesday, the next week, Thursday. She says, okay. On June 16th, she says, are you on your way? I say, 4 minutes away. She says, okay. She says, send her to the back door. I say, is your mom or Jack home? She said, yes. I say, can you have someone look out so that I know I'm leaving her with someone? Looks like no one's home. There's no cars. So then I messaged at 3:39. Jasmine cannot be alone with her, and Jasmine is the only one home. Then she says, my mom is home. And I say, you're disobeying a judge's order. She's not home. Jasmine is the only one here. Then she says, SMFH. I got there and I was directed to just send Sadia to the back door. And I'm just like, the order says that I'm to ensure somebody is here with Sadia. I'm not just going to send her to the back door. So when I showed up, I decided to go and after I'm messaging her and I'm saying, can you have somebody here? Can you have someone look out so I know? I go up onto the porch and I ring the bell. Now, all of the lights are off in the house. The door is cracked open, and this is the front door. Now, she wanted me to send her to the back door, but the door's cracked open, and all of the lights are out off in the house. And then you see like a little shadowy figure in the back, in the room in the back, standing in the dark. And everybody in that house has a distinctive height and weight to them. So I clearly see it's a shadowy figure that looks like it could be Jasmine, like a slinky, a tall, slinky, shadowy figure. So this is like the creepiest thing ever because of what had already happened to my daughter in this house. Next thing you know, I see Jasmine walking up to the door and she has like a bag of some type of treats or something in her hand. And I'm like asking her, is your mom or dad here? And she's like trying to coerce Didi into the house. And I'm like, excuse me, is your mom or your dad here? Sadia cannot be here alone with you. At first I rang the bell and then I was expecting her to get her mother or father, whoever is home, just to make sure she's not being left with them. So she ends up coercing Didi in the house and slams the door. And it was the most, like, I was just so freaked out by this whole thing. I was so upset. And I started texting her Sadia's mom, and I'm saying Jasmine cannot be with her, and Jasmine is the only one home. She texts back, my mom is home. I text back, you're disobeying a judge's order. She's not home. Jasmine is the only one here. She says SMFH, shaking my head. And then I message her, you have to figure something out because it's the judge. If the judge says she's not to be alone with Jasmine, I'm not going to continue to drop her off all of these times, knowing that your mom is at work and Jasmine is home alone. If you want to give me more time, I have no problem keeping her later. Your mom has to be there, or Jack, or another adult. She cannot be alone with Jasmine. That is court ordered. She messaged me back in all caps. My mom is there when you drop her off. And I say, okay, no more letting her walk into the back door. Someone has to meet at the door. I will not let her walk into a house knowing that someone might not even be there. You're not there to retrieve her, so I need to know another adult is there. Like I said, if you want me to keep her longer, that's not an issue. I will keep her until you get off work. You could get away with this time, but you have to figure something else out. If your mom's not going to be there, just ask me to keep her until you get off work, and I have no problem doing that. The days that your mom or Jack will be home, I can drop her off at 3:15. Now that she's upset about that incident, the next exhibit is on Father's Day. So on Friday, I said, "Hello, can you have Dee Dee call me?" I usually call Dee Dee every day, just to talk to her, work on her speech a little bit. And now that we get into this argument, this is a common thing. Anytime we get into an argument, I'm not allowed to talk to my daughter anymore. So the following day, which I believe would have been a Saturday, June 17th of 2023, I said, "Hello, can you have Dee Dee call me?" She didn't message back on the 17th. I called on that day. I also called the following day, which I believe would have been Father's Day. And the day that I picked Dee Dee up, she said, "At work, just text." And that's June 19th. So I didn't hear from Dee Dee for that entire weekend, and wasn't able to talk to her on Father's Day. So on June 19th, I responded. I said, "You blocked my number on Friday. I have not been able to talk to Sadia since I called her at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. You didn't even let her return my call for Father's Day, and now you unblock my number when it's time to pick her up." And then I say, "Does the custody order mean anything to you?" I asked, "Where is Dee Dee?" And it's 3:17, so it's my time to pick her up. Responds at 3:25 and says, "The drop-off time and place is always the same. There really is no need for you to ask that question. All you need to do is say here. That's it, plain and simple." And I said, "Why did you block my number on Friday? I wanted to talk to Sadia Saturday, and I tried to call her on Sunday on Father's Day, June 19, 3:28. She says, "Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about." Then I said, "Do you think you're above the law? Why are you putting Sadia through this? She's used to me calling her every day to check in on her." On